going to be late for a lunch with my wife at Olive Garden. I spotted this drain plug down here on the bottom of the keel, and it's the one I fixed last year. And after Marlene Sazyanka, the former owner, one of the former owners, alerted me to it, I didn't even think about it until I noticed this. And I found the drain plug, or one at an automotive store that fit it perfectly. And so I fit this all up last year, used some Boat Life caulk and screwed it in there. And I was looking over the bottom here for places I probably needed to, hit with a little extra bottom paint. And I noticed what looked like a little bit of weep of maybe some liquid or something. And I don't know that it was. I couldn't prove it. I touched it and it seemed to disappear. But just for kicks, I'm going to go ahead and pull this plug. And if I need to, if it looks like there's any moisture at all, I'll let it drain until the next time I'm down here, which is next week. And then put it back in with some more Boat Life. In the meantime, let's find out. We're going to find out whether or not this is something that needs to be looked into every year. I don't know. I mean, this is my first time 2 years in a row of going in the water since I owned it. So let's take a look and see what we got. All right, so I pulled the plug and absolutely nothing. It's absolutely dry, no water coming out, no moisture whatsoever. So I'm going to just clean it up, get all the crud out of there, this old Boat Life, I'm sure. Clean it all out and put some new Boat Life on and put my little threaded plug in back in here and then paint over it a bit and we'll be good for another year. So there we go. All right. Sorry for the mess. Okay, it's all plugged. I've got some brand new Boat Life right into the threads of it, screwed it into place. It's good and tight. And I'm just going to let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to throw some paint on it, and we'll be good for another year. So, yeah, I'm not worried about this boat sinking from this little bitty plug, especially when there's not a drop coming out of it once I unscrewed it. So, all right, there it is. Done for another year. Okay, so I got this all sanded out. The whole area I'm going to do that was, the Cetol just didn't take very well. Some of it did. But anyway, I'm going to go up to right about here, just past this dead eye. And it's all sanded, inboard, outboard. This is the area that was really bad here. This looked like the Cetol, like I completely missed it almost. Like there wasn't any Cetol ever put on it. So anyway, it's all ready to go. And I'm going to be very careful. I do not want to get this on the deck. I don't want to have to tape it off. I'm just going to be super, super careful with how much I load my foam brush, and just be careful with getting it on and try to get this done. I don't think this will take too long. Okay, this is still wet. I'm going to give it a second coat while it's still wet, because this is the area that got almost, like I said, it doesn't look like it even took. So we're just going to give it a second coat. And so far I've been able to get most of this work without getting any on the deck or on the hull, just outboard of the boat here, outboard of the tow rail. All right, I think we're good. All right, we're going to call this quits and let it dry. And maybe come back and give it a second or a third coat. Like I said, that bothered me that Cetol just never seemed to set in at that location. So, all right, we're going to call it quits for now. We'll be back. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the location of one of the original stanchions for the lifelines. This is the one just after the forward quarter here. And I have never opened these. Every one of them looks like this. It looks like they've been filled in with, I don't know what, maybe a marine texture, although this looks like a repair that was done a long, long time ago. And all the stanchions are taken completely off. These holes are plugged, and that's all this boat was for a long time. As a matter of fact, that's how I launched it, because that's but I have all the stanchions to go on this boat. I just saw one recently that had been restored by a yacht yard, and basically all they did was to put in a like Dyneema. Where you see this point right here, that's where a hook comes off the back of the bow pulpit, and that's where you would connect the forward end of your lifeline. And it looks like what they did, they ran a line from there back to one stanchion. At this point, was just forward of your chain plates, and then ran it aft along and put in a deadeye somewhere back here. The whole idea, matter of fact, they probably may have run it right there to the forward end of the jib sheet track. Anyway, the whole idea being that as long as they have a lifeline, even on a diagonal back to cover at the back of the cabin here, so that at least you get this catwalk area, you got yourself pretty much covered. By the way, I'm going to have a lifeline on this. I've got a buoyant life vest, the whole 9 yards. You saw that in one of the other videos. But anyway, I've been admonished here to see about that, and I'm going to bring up one of the stanchions and kind of do some exploring and see what we might want to do with one stanchion on each side, port and starboard, at this location just after the forward, just after the bow pulpit up here. And I don't know, let's see. I've been very reluctant to go digging these up because right now they don't leak. And if I go digging them up, I'm going to have a leak spot, I know. Forgive the filth on this boat. I would say it again, never, ever park under a pine tree. All right, enough on that. Let's go get a stanchion and see what it looks like. Okay, we're back. Here's the stanchion base, and you can see where it lines up with the screw holes here. But and also with holes through the tow rail here. What I've done, I'm not going to be working on it this trip. I have contacted Peter Schermerhorn, who is a fellow Kestrel owner, and he's owned one. Matter of fact, he owns his dad's boat. I mean, apparently his dad started off with a Kestrel a long time ago, and Peter's got it now. And so anyway, I contacted him and asked him what the situation is with the through bolts down into the hull. I've been below, by the way, looking for where these bolts come through. I cannot find it. It's whatever. So I'm waiting to hear back from Peter and get his input on this. And perhaps on the next trip down, we'll try to do this. I looked again at the one that they overhauled recently over the winter, and apparently they put in 2 stanchions, not just one. One here, and then one, let's see, where is it? I'm not, okay, well, yeah, back just before the track. You see it back there. What a mess. I've got to clean this boat up. I'll leave it uncovered for an hour, and it looks like this, just covered in filth. Pine needles and dirt and crud all comes off these trees and lands right on a little girl here. It's just a stinking mess. Nowhere near the beautiful glory she was when she hit the water last summer, that's for sure. All right, well, look, that's what we're dealing with. This is one of the stanchions. I've got, like I said, I've got all of them that go to this boat, and I've got to make a decision on what I'm going to do. And so we'll be back to you on that one. In the meantime, I got to go get cleaned up. I guess we're going to go hit Seafood Sam's tonight and grab some supper down there on the Cape Cod Canal. So we're looking forward to that. All right. We'll catch you later. I'll do a wrap up tonight when we get back. Well, guys, that's about a wrap. Just got back from Seafood Sam's. That was awesome. I got some gorgeous shots down on the Cape Cod Canal. And after my scallops and clams and just having a great time with my mom and dad, we decided to go ahead and kind of wrap things up. I've already got my tools ready to get down off the boat, so we're going to be bugging out in the morning. Anyway, long and short, it's been a good trip. but we will be back next week, and that's the cool part, because it means that I get to follow up on some of the stuff I've done on this trip. First of all, I got the bottom paint done. Those places that had chipped off, I scraped them out and painted over it. I pulled the plug down on the bottom of the keel there. And look, I don't know if anything's supposed to come out of that or not. I was told about this after I got the boat. I think it was Marlene Szyenka that contacted me. He says, did you put the plug in the bottom? I said, no, I didn't know there was supposed to be a plug. But I got down there and I saw this perfectly round hole. I said, oh, that's got to be it. So anyway, I went searching, and the only place I could find exactly the plug was automotive. And I found exactly the right size plug, and I put it in there and threaded it in. And so anyway, it worked perfectly all whenever I had it in last summer, and it's all redone now, so we're good to go. Also, I went ahead and did all the Cetol work on the area of the starboard tow rail over here that was, just didn't take, and that's all set up for next time. I don't need to worry about that. I had to go quite a bit in front of that because there was other areas but anyway, that's all Cetol ready for next time. I tried repeatedly throughout the day to get the stupid motor started. I could not, and so I'm counting on my brother, and I'm counted on McCarthy to. I don't know. We're going to come up with something. My brother said if nothing else, he's going to loan me his practically brand new what is it? It's only a 5-horse, but it's a 4-cylinder, and you put regular gas in it. It's extremely dependable. So anyway, first comes to worst, we may be doing that. I don't know, but we'll find out. And let's see what else did I miss? I know I must have missed something. What was it? Oh yes, the lifelines, stanchion, and I got that thing scoped out. Right now, I'm not going to do anything on it till I hear back from Peter. He's a fellow Kestrel owner, and I want to find out how exactly the bolts are set up going down through, and where to look for them, because I looked up underneath there. I could not see anywhere up inside the up underneath the edges of the cabin there where those bolts had come down through. They must have plugged them so perfectly you can't even see it. So anyway, but that's for next time. And finally, I took note of, and I'm definitely going to be taking back with me, the halyards that I'm going to be using for this coming summer. And those are all going to have the ends whip stitched. I've already talked to Bob up at the West Marine, and he said he's got the stuff, the thread that you use for whipping. And I kind of knew where it was anyway. So tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock before we have to leave, I'm going to run up there and pick up that. Anyway, hey guys, been an awesome trip. And I got more planned for next week. So I hope you enjoy this. It's been a great time just being able to get back down here and feel like we're making progress toward getting a little girl ready for the water. Just making progress. So God bless. Have a good one. And thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl. We'll catch you on the next time around. Okay, so this is what I'm using. This is rob line. It's whipping twine that you get right up at, if you're nearest West Marine, I think it's about $7 or $8 for a spool, and there's quite a bit on there. It's enough to do many whips on the end of your lines. And after having done the starboard, and looking a little kind of sloppy, I am going to go ahead and try to do the port, and excuse me, not port. Hello, wake up. I've already done the jib halyard, and now I'm going to do the main halyard, and see if this comes out any better. Well, good evening, guys. This is my rather pathetic attempt at a Yale whip block whip stitch for the end of one of my halyards. Actually, this is the jib halyard. And it's pathetic. It was my very first attempt. And don't ever, by the way, talk to your 90-year-old mother when you're trying to do one of these. Not her fault. It's just that you can't really concentrate when you're trying to talk to your mother, you know. So anyway, but this is solid. It was not pulled out of there. This was cut off properly by the West Marine back when I bought all my line from my halyards, and I did this last night. I'm going to take this all out because I don't like the way that this sets up. The way that these work, and I'm sure you know the way these Yale whip blocks, and I guess they all do, that you, after you've done your wraps down the line, you go ahead and put the end of that you've been wrapping with through the loop on the end of the bite, and you pull it back up through and capture it in the middle. Okay, well, I did that, and I just don't like the way the whole thing comes out. So I've been studying a bunch of others because there's a number of different ways to do the whip stitch on a rope, on a line, whatever. And so I'm going to do one right now. It's called the stitch whip block. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on my next one, and hope this comes out well, because that'll be my first attempt. I've watched it, the video 2 or 3 times, and I like it so much, and it comes out so neat that I want to do that to my others, and I'll probably take this one out and redo this with the stitched whip stitch. Anyway. One of the things that I'll tell you about it right now before we get started is that they don't end up having to do the bite and all that kind of stuff. They pass the needle through the top of where your cutoff is several times so that you're capturing your whip line to begin with, and you're not having to worry about getting using your bite and pulling it up inside what you've got whipped and so forth. Well, let's just get going and we'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's the finished stitch whip, and this is kind of an ugly one. This is my first attempt at that particular method, but I do like it because, I mean, you basically don't end up having to do the pull up through, after you get done with your whipping. And anyway, I'll tell you what, I'll put the link to this, and if you like it, use it. If you don't, use a traditional one, but I really, really like this one. And I'm probably going to do all my stuff. I've got my main sheet and my main halyard, which I'm going to undo and redo with this particular method. So, all right, there it is. And I like it. Okay, guys, well, I just finished whipping this. I really like the way that these come out. I'll tell you this. I just did 2 videos, and I thought I was in focus. I was completely off screen with both. I'm not going to do that again. Suffice it to say, I did this really nice stitch whip, and I think it's nice. I really just like the look of this one, and it's not the traditional one, but I'll give the link to this in my with this video, and if you're interested and you want to use it. For me, this is superior. I just really like the look of it. Get it tuned in there. There we go. And it's so much easier. You don't end up having to, there we get focus. Anyway, you don't end up having to, Randy. There you go. You don't end up having to draw your line up inside of it at all. You just capture it up in the top up here by passing it through the core 2 or 3 times, then bury the tail underneath your whipping, and the rest of it is just real simplicity stuff. So I just strongly suggest take a look at it online. I'll give you the link, and you know it makes for a very nice, neat whipped end. And yeah, this is the only way I'm gonna ever do it from now on. This is just good stuff. This is the one that I made kind of a mess of last night with the Yale stitch. Well, this looks a whole lot better, and it's just as tight as the Yale stitch. So good to go. Well, good news, guys. I just did this while talking to my mother tonight, and it came out great. So anyway, this is my main sheet. This is, what is this? I'm trying to remember. This is, the other stuff is 5/16, and I think this is, I can't remember what it is, 3/8. Anyway, this is heavier line, and it came out really good, I think. So anyway, yeah, that's it for me. This is the only way I'm gonna be doing my stitching from whipping of lines from now on. I just really like the system. So it'll be in the link. There'll be a link in the video. So catch you later.